First up this week, we've got to take a look at New Mutants issue number 15. Now, what do you guys think of this?
I've got to say, it's a brilliant issue. Straight off the bat, they've been in limbo, they've been in hell. Cyclops says, listen, boys, I want you all to chill out, have a little break. This is Comic World. Does anyone ever get a break? No one gets a day off.
Yep.
I really enjoyed it. I'm a big fan of the New Mutants. I've liked them for a long time, but what is especially good about this issue is the way it gives a feel of there's absolutely no rest for these guys, and they're kids essentially. They're not like the X-Men. They're not as seasoned, except for maybe Cannonball, but they come back from limbo and immediately they've got this organisation after them. They don't know who they are, and they're after Magic's Soul Sword. Whether or not they get it, you'll have to read it to find out, but it's a tense issue.
It's a really well-paced book. We enjoyed the kind of writing, Zeb Wells handling the script, and I think it's worth kind of pointing out Leonard Kirk, who drew the book. He's not someone whose name I'm really familiar with, but I really enjoyed his art on this.
It's very robust, gives a great characterization to the characters, and it, unlike many books which fall into the pitfall of many characters looking the same, this one, they exude character, and it's perfect art for the book.
Okay, so it might not be a total essential unless you're a complete X-freak, but well worth checking out if you've got the time and the money. This is New Mutants, issue 15, out this week. Kevin Smith's run on the Green Hornet continues this week with the release of issue number 6.
I really liked it. I thought it was quite funny. What I really liked about this especially is the fact that in every piece of the dialogue you can just tell that it's a Kevin Smith comic. You can really tell through the words he uses and the way he uses them that this is a real Kevin Smith based comic, and the movie references are there. It's a very funny comic that's quite aware of itself, and it's got a lot of great action sequences.
Yeah, I've got to agree with everything you've just said. I mean, again, Kevin Smith eats, sleeps pop culture, and again, everything he writes, he puts it into it. And to me, it's a book that even if you're not a comic fan, you could pick up and you're going to laugh. You know, there's loads of hip-hop references, movie references, and it's just really nicely paced. And there's a nice little gag about having a costume change, because as we all know, in the comic industry, if a character's flagging, it's like, oh, give him blue hair, take that off, let's change something. And he kind of takes a homage to that and, you know, takes the mickey out of it, and I think it's brilliant.
Green Hornet issue 6 is out this week.
Buzz.
If you have even a passing interest in the Avengers, this week you're spoilt for choice with 4 books bearing their name. We're going to concentrate on these 2, the New Avengers issue number 2 and The Avengers issue number 3. Interestingly, both are by Brian Michael Bendis. Both feature Spider-Man, Wolverine and Hawkeye on each team. Are there any actual differences between these 2 books?
Yeah, I mean, what they're trying to do is that the New Avengers is going to be kind of the book that doesn't answer to Captain America, and is probably trying to be a bit more street. And then The Avengers is probably more like the classic Avengers. Yeah. My only problem with it is what you've said, is that there's 3 members in both teams, plus doing their own stuff in other books. And it just kind of seems to me like, who's got time to have a bath, brush their teeth, get some kip? Yeah. You know, these guys are too busy, and it almost feels like a saturation. And at this point, the only difference is whether you want a storyline with magic or you want a storyline with time travel. Neither are being set in, you know, real life New York, present day.
I really like the New Avengers because I much prefer magic over time travel, and it really does feel like magic is much more of a speciality thing. Like, you know, for us to fight this guy, we need Doctor Strange, we need Damon Hellstrom. Whereas in this, the Avengers number 3, it really does feel like it's getting slow off the pace. And one thing I really can't get to grips with is John Romita Jr.'s art. I mean, I really like him, but it feels like it's dragging a bit.
I don't know. Do you know what? I'm like a kind of a classic. I love John Romita Jr. And I feel like if John Romita Jr. doodles on the receipt from his shopping bill, I'd probably, and you know, they collected that into a book.
Dribble,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd want
I'd probably buy that book. Do you know what I mean? I'm a massive fan of what he does. You know, you know what? Ultimately, right? If you've only got one Avengers book that you can buy out of these 2, which one would you recommend?
Just for the amount of characters, it'd have to be The Avengers.
Okay. Mast?
I'm going to have to go with the New Avengers.
Okay. And I suppose I get the casting vote. I'm going to go for Ultimate Avengers. Basically, I think out of these 2, I enjoyed It's really hard to pick. Cut. No, I can't tell you. I want to help you out, but I just don't know. They're both out this week. The Avengers, the new Avengers. You'll have to make up your own mind.
I'm illiterate when it comes to the language of the game. There's a code and a rule and a system of touching without a name.
It's a landmark issue for The Walking Dead. This is issue number 75 and represents a history of what, over 6 years worth of comics. And to tell the honest truth, I mean, you know, Kirkman really kind of throws a curveball in this book.
In fact, it's like watching a game of football turning into a game of rugby and it ends up being baseball. The curveball is so immense, I mean, we can't even mention it.
To kind of create a moment of genuine actual surprise when you're actually reading the book is so difficult.
Yeah.
That you, even if I'm not entirely sure whether I even like it yet, but I have to applaud Robert Kirkman for actually doing something that, you know, literally had our eyes on stalks and had us going, you know what I mean, we had to go back and check it a couple of times, and you'll probably need to do that. So grab yourself a copy of The Walking Dead. It's going to blow your mind. Issue 75 is out this week. There's a load of other books we'd love to check out this week, including this, Ultimate Avengers, issue number 3.
Hellblazer, issue 269.
Ultimate Avengers 2, issue number 5.
Zatanna, issue 3.
Deadpool, Merc with a Mouth, issue 13.
Deadpool, issue 25.
Amazing Spider-Man, issue 638. The dawn of the new day for the Thunderbolts continues in this issue number 146.
I really enjoyed this. I really like the idea of the Thunderbolts. I think it's a really cool concept to have like a team of reformed villains who still have quite a lot of villainy in them, but still try to do good if for their own means. And what's really good about this is that it feels like a villain book. It doesn't feel like villains have gone good. It feels like there's a dark, nasty centre to it. And Luke Cage, who is leading the Thunderbolts now by appointment of Captain Rogers, has got a lot on his hands.
Yeah, again, I mean, me and Iyare started reading this 2 months back, and I've got to say, it's nice Luke Cage being given a major role. I mean, he's running the Thunderbolts. And again, what we're talking about is he's in the New Avengers. Yeah. At least he's not in 6-7 books, so he's obviously getting sleep.
You've got to feel sorry for Luke Cage's kid.
Yeah.
Because like being an Avenger and being a Thunderbolt, surely like that kid is missing out on like some quality daddy time.
And his mum's in the New Avengers now.
Exactly.
As well, so
do you know what I mean? It's like literally they're either putting that baby at risk every week or ignoring it. Do you know what I mean? One way or the other.
I think we need to call social services now.
Seriously, on Marvel, just like literally, like Luke Cage, they're going to take your kid if you're not careful, mate. Like Thunderbolts, we quite liked it. We like the art, don't we?
Yeah, very nice.
We like the art. We like the writing. We think it's quite good. Though we wish Luke Cage had more time to spend with his kid.
That's it.
All right, Thunderbolts issue number 146. I had to check again. That's so bait. It's out this week. So that's pretty much all we've got time for this week. Thanks again to The Mast for coming back.
You're welcome.
And to Alex for being here as always.
Thank you.
All right, listen, big up to everybody who's been following the show on YouTube. Listen, more of your names going past. We're going to keep shouting out YouTube to subscribers until we've done everybody. Make sure you're here with us next week when we'll be checking out even more new comics and more new music. Join us on Monday for the big news episode, and we'll see you again on Direct Edition. Peace.